Everybody please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of the minutes.
All right, so I have the January town clerk's report and the January 18th town board minutes and the February 12th workshop meeting minutes.
Can I get a motion to approve? All in favor? Aye. Approval of the bills.
I have general bills for 2023, 20630 through 20632. I have 2024 general bills, 20635 through 20670. Highway bills, 20671 through 20683, and water bills, 3261 through 3263.
Can I get a motion on the bills?
I make a motion to accept those bills.
Pay them.
Pay them.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're going into public comment. We have the Dutchess County Land Conservancy here. Okay, can you just please state your name?
Some maps that I hope I can just pop right here. My name is Erin Hoagland. I'm the Director of Conservation with the Dutchess Land Conservancy, and thank you. You know what else? Maybe I could just pop on the floor. I don't know if y'all can see that. I can lift it up if it's helpful, but thank you so much for making time on your agenda for us this evening. I'm here to just make a quick presentation about a request for a letter of endorsement from the town board to support our application to the New York State Department of Agriculture and Markets to fund the purchase of development rights for the marsh property owned by Helene Marsh on Schultz Hill Road. It's the former Rockwell Farm and is currently leased by Chase Home Farm. Just before I go any further, the Ag and Markets program requires the land trust to address any potential conflicts of interest among the town board members if anyone's a neighbor of the property or has any potential relationship that would give the image of conflict of interest to vote. Okay, great. So as you can see on my map here, the property is in hashed blue. This is all in the materials that I provided in advance of the meeting. The other properties in dark blue are also subject to conservation easement with the Dutchess Land Conservancy. So this, as you can see, abuts some other DLC easements, and we have done a couple of other state-funded farmland protection projects nearby. This is the part of the Ronnybrook area, I think referred to as Schultz Hill Farm, and then the Dutchess Views Farm. We protected the Clare Farm with different New York State funding source. So kind of building on this critical mass of protected farmland within the town. In terms of the property itself, it is an active agriculture. As I mentioned, it's leased by Chase Home Farm. It serves as support lands for their beef cattle, which graze on the property. And over half of the property consists of prime and statewide agricultural soils. I'll just flip my map here to show you that. These are the kind of top tier, most important soils for protection. They're mapped by the USDA. And this program specifically looks to protect these soils because they contribute to the future agricultural viability of the property. So the prime are in brown and statewide important are in yellow. They're just the most productive and conducive to agricultural use. In addition, the property contains some areas of federal wetlands. It's mapped as being part of important areas for rare wetland animals, as well as important bat foraging areas as identified by the New York Natural Heritage Program. And it's also located within the county's agricultural district, as well as the County Agriculture and Farmland Protection Plan agricultural priority areas. In terms of town goals and priorities, the protection of the farm fits with what is outlined in the town's comprehensive plan, which identifies Pine Plains as a rural community where agriculture is promoted and open space is preserved for recreation and conservation. It also states that the agricultural uses are integral to the history and character of Pine Plains and identifies the loss of agricultural land as a threat to the community and the quality of life here in Pine Plains. The plan also specifically promotes the use of conservation easements to protect agricultural land. And the property also falls within the town's agricultural overlay district within the zoning code, which is created with the purpose of protecting active agricultural land, land that's in the county ag district, as well as land with these important farmland soils. So we really feel like this is a great project. We're super grateful to Helene for approaching the DLC and being willing to work with us on this. The conservation easement itself, I'll just flip back to this aerial map here, is aimed.
Excuse me, I'm wondering if you can put it over here
Oh,
so
sure.
that everyone can
Oh,
see.
yeah, yeah.
'Cause we have actually. some
You have
copies of
everything
it,
in front of you, okay.
And we can see it there too. Thank you.
Flip around, just this first one. So, 145 acre parcel. As I mentioned on Shelf Hill Road, so the conservation easement will encumber, there is actually a small 5 acre exclusion. This little notch out here is not as the tax parcel currently exists, but the agricultural easement will protect the rest of the property and it will extinguish subdivision rights. So this has to be sold as one farm in the future. And it will establish a farmstead area or a building envelope in which majority of the future construction for an agricultural enterprise would have to be focused, and that building envelope is cited with those important soils and other natural resources, the wetlands, as well as steep slopes in mind. And that will be held by the DLC in perpetuity, and all future landowners would be subject to that conservation easement. So I did provide a draft or sample letter with the materials, and that's really just written to take that burden off their plate. You're more than welcome to make changes to that or write something else entirely if you like, but that's kind of what the state seems to be looking for. Are there any questions?
You guys have any questions?
Where's the sample letter?
Should be in the, it was submitted with the materials that I provided in advance of the meeting, but I do actually have it here if you want to. So you just keep using feedback. There it is.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
We don't have it.
Sorry about that. That's okay.
Any questions in regards to? No. So.
Do we need any sort of conversation with adjacent landowners? Is that a,
Thoughts? Warren?
For your approval? I mean, you don't have,
okay,
you can invite them.
so I'm just, from a planning board point of view, but no.
Yeah, I mean, I think the adjacent landowners would be thrilled to have the property into the conservation.
You can never guess what landowners want,
Right.
but that's why I asked the question.
Sir, there's no downfall in regards to this, correct? Okay. Any questions?
I don't-
Is there anything?
No,
No, that's.
I think it's a
I don't
wording
have
thing.
any-
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get this out to you.
Okay, thanks.
All right, that's yours.
I don't know if, and leave your process to you. I will, so I'll point out that the state will follow up for, the minutes of the meeting after.
Yep,
the fact.
so, can I get a motion to accept the approval of a letter of recommendation?
I make that.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All in favor? Aye. Is that what you were looking for?
Yes, thanks very much.
We're in public comment, so I'm gonna open the floor for public comment.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Ma'am, this is Ken Beccanuccio. I live on Sylvan Mills Road. And I have a few things I just want to talk about. The first being the website. I have a very difficult time finding the agendas and I can't find them anywhere. So if they're under a different topic or category, let me know. And additionally with the website, there are no final board minutes posted from July of 2023. That's a long time. And then also, I keep signing up for the newsletter and nothing is forthcoming. So either you're picking and choosing who gets the newsletter or you haven't done that in 2 years.
There's not a newsletter right now.
Okay, so maybe you should take that off of the website. And if you're not able to do the website to the utmost of what it's capable, maybe we should hire someone to do that. Okay. And my next issue is, 2.5 years ago, I speak collectively like the town, the town of Penn Planners, the board decided that they would buy 2 electric wheelchairs. All-terrain wheelchairs, and they were supposed to be available to everybody. And they were under the umbrella of recreation.
Correct.
Where are they? How does one know about them? How do you rent them? How do you borrow them?
It's still done through recreation. I can't give you a 100% answer on that, as we are gonna be appointing a new rec director tonight, so a lot of these questions will be answered. The wheelchairs themselves right now are down at the,
Beach.
The back, so they're
Yes.
not being used. And nobody knows how to borrow them, and nobody knows how to rent them or
It's
use
all
them.
done through the beach and the recreation at that point.
Okay, so.
None of that's being done through this office up here.
Well, maybe that's not good enough. Maybe they should be accessible to everybody, everybody should know about it, and they should be accessible. So maybe we could work on that.
All's under
Right.
recreation.
Okay,
Okay,
well,
next.
then, all right, so the next issue is a subject matter that's come up. The governor of New York State is cutting school funding.
Correct.
So every student, our student's going to be reduced by $2,500 per student. So that's one issue, right? Carson Solar Project is coming in, and that's going to be reducing the property values of that land. So that is 2 sources of missed revenue that the town is going to have to make up somewhere. So I would like to just put it out there for you to think about. This is a good opportunity for the town board and the school board to get together and try to come up with a financial plan that we can pass on to Carson Solar so they can make up for some of this financial shortfall that we are going to be facing. And I know you're in negotiation with Carson, so don't sell it too short. Don't undercut what we really need to be sustainable with in the future.
No decisions have been made yet, and we are
Right.
working on that, correct?
I just want to make sure
We
everyone.
are well aware of that whole situation, yes.
So much better. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Curie Hannon, Hammertown Road. So I echo everything that Alex said. I think the website still needs a lot of work. I wanted to thank Carl for doing such a great job in the last snowstorm when I had to drive around and the roads were clear and sanded, and I just wanted to thank you. The other thing a couple of other things I wanted to bring up. Again, the newsletter, there's no newsletter. It's been 2 years with no communications from the town. I realize that someone could go in and watch all of the YouTube videos, but I think that seems a little onerous. So I would like to see at least a monthly newsletter, if not a quarterly newsletter that tells people what's going on in the town. Then the other thing is I'd love to get an update on the sewer. I'd love to get an update on the new buildings or the new building. And then lastly, with regard to the community room, I think there should be an open calendar where you can book the community room. And I don't think that the town should be charging nonprofit groups that want to have meetings in the community room a fee. If you want to have a birthday party for your 5-year-old, that's one thing, and you should have to pay for that. But if you're a nonprofit, I think it's a community space and you should be able to hold a community meeting there without having to pay $50. So that's.
Anybody else?
I guess maybe me.
Go ahead.
I got my credit card machine, so now people could come in and use a card if you need to. I've also updated, I put, like, somebody put it online for me. In the building department section, you could apply for a building permit right there online and it goes right to Ed. So we're trying to get there.
That it?
Yep.
Anybody else?
I want to say thank you to Carl for putting up Christmas, but taking it down pretty much single-handedly.
All right.
Do we have to say anything about this?
Under, yeah.
Okay.
Warren,
Just 2 matters that I need to discuss with you in executive session, 2 litigation matters.
Yep. That's it?
That's it.
Okay. Department reports. Highway.
So we've battled a couple of small storms here and there. And we've got a lot of branches and whatnot that we spent the last couple of weeks cleaning up. And we've got this draft of the intermunicipal agreements that was brought to my attention. We basically do what this is already without any official draft, which is basically if something comes up in another town, emergency wise, all the towns kind of help out. I've got this tool, you've got this tool, we'll go down and help them, kind of thing. It was brought to my attention. I thought that it'd be important for you guys to look it over and see if it's something that we want to pursue or just stay as a status quo. The brush pile is awfully big. I think it's been a couple of years since it's been addressed. I'd like to get it taken care of before the spring gets here. It gets sloppy and messy over there. I've also noticed in the last couple of weeks, due to Vinny's absence, that people are getting a little carried away with the items that they're putting there. Since there's nobody there to keep an eye on.
Is that in the scrap part, Kyle, or Carl, or the recycle part? The scrap part?
Yeah.
Is there a place, can I ask you a question, Paul? Is there a place where, it's listed what can be left in the scrap pile? Because I was on Nextdoor the other day and someone was asking if they could leave someone there, and like people were chiming in, but they don't really necessarily know the answer.
I'll have to look at
The
I
website.
think there's a sign right at the front, right at the intersection.
But I don't know if it's wayward right now or not.
Maybe we could add that to the website
Yeah.
as well.
90% of the people that go there every day, so.
Benny's are coming back.
But they're like, nobody's watching.
Right. No, I get it.
I'd have to give it to Virginia.
That's all I've got. Thank you.
Thanks, Carl. Carl, on this agreement, was this just a generic you got sent from the county?
Yeah, it's
or-
generic. It's not hard and fast. They want, this
Okay.
is what they're thinking. And they're
Okay.
looking for a little bit of feedback and they're gonna rough it out.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody received the code enforcement officer's report? Water engineer?
Average daily flow for the month of January remains steady at 52,000 gallons per day. 2 water meter heads were replaced, 2 water meter bodies were also replaced as well. There were 2 utility markouts performed during the past month, associated with a few construction activities. The draft 2023 annual water quality report was approved by Dutchess County. And so therefore, we'll be making copies of the report and providing them to the customers when we send out the first quarter water bills. And that'll be at the end of March. Additionally, hard copies will be available at the town hall, and an electronic version will be posted on the town's website under the Pine Point Water Improvement tab. I participated in 4 hours of online continuing education, water operator certification that was provided by American Water Workers Association. And lastly, PACE Analytical, which is the laboratory that we utilize for our water samples. Unfortunately, they have closed their local field office in Dutchess County that was located down on the Grange. So now their closest location is Newburgh. While I still will be utilizing PACE, I'd like to also look at an alternative, which would be Adirondack Labs located in Albany. Again, just as another option. Their pricing is actually a little bit cheaper as well. So I would just like to get authorization from the town board to work with the supervisor to get an account set up with Adirondack Labs. They may require some bank information and things of that nature, and obviously the supervisor would have to sign that paper.
Any questions? 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 Okay, a motion on that?
I make a motion.
Take a second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
There you go, Rick.
Thank you. Minor engineering item, my understanding is that there were a couple questions that were brought up regarding the library building as pertains to, ADA accessibility. The first one had to do with the ramp and landing located on the, rear of the building. Just a reminder, so this building was built back, 2008, 2009 timeframe. The ADA code applicable at that time was one that was written in 2003. There've been two reiterations since then. So I went back, looked at that code at the time that the building was built. The wheelchair ramp does meet the requirements as far as the minimum width of the ramp itself, as well as the switchback. So it meets the standards there. A second question or concern had to do with the landing, and someone had indicated that there was difficulty at the doorways themselves on the proximity of the doors, the door swing, and where the stairs start. There is a landing that's required a minimum depth of 60 inches, and we have 61. So again, it does meet the requirements as far as ADA.
And that's the 2008 requirements,
2003
2003.
and 2009 are actually similar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Although the 2009 technically didn't come into code until 2010, even though they were written in 2000.
So there are new requirements now for new construction. And
If
you-
it was new construction,
Construction.
anything new would have to meet the new construction. Anything that was existing at the time goes per the code at that time.
Is the door an automatic door?
No, it isn't. It's a manual.
So how is the person supposed to get to the door and open the door? And not fall off the stairs?
So they have the 60-foot clearance that's there, or 60-inch clearance that's there, and they manually open up the door. It meets all the requirements as far as ADA.
Okay, well, that was almost, it was almost 20
Yeah.
years ago.
That's where my question was coming about the current requirements. And I just wonder, do we need to consider upgrading to the most recent requirements so that it's?
We had a near accident. We've had people complain, so.
Again, unless the building goes through a major modification.
Yeah.
Okay,
Understood.
but if it does not, then it meets the requirements as far as the codes at the time that it was built.
Mhm.
And keep in mind, when that took place, it was signed and sealed by a registered architect. It went through a building permit process. It was reviewed by the local code official as well,
Mm.
and it met the requirements.
So
There's
we-
no requirement to
No.
continuously upgrade a building as far as the ADA.
Right.
I have a question for Warren. So what if someone falls off and breaks their neck? What is the liability of the town if it's been brought up and we don't address it, even though it meets the code that is 16 years old?
Actually, I mean, liability would depend on the circumstances regarding the fall, why she fell. Was
Okay, well,
Something that had to
it's
do
a
with the
precarious
ramp or,
situation.
you always get sued when somebody falls, so, we're covered by insurance. What I recommend is, in the interim, before. If you decide at a later date to create a automatic opening door, put a buzzer there. And have for handicapped people to press, so somebody comes and opens the door for them. That might be a temporary solution. So.
I think that's.
It's not too expensive.
Yeah.
But if we're in compliance
Yeah.
and there's nothing that caused someone to fall.
Doesn't mean we can't.
You should
improve
take, I
it.
mean, I
Doesn't mean we won't get sued.
recommend everyone on this board, take a walk over to the library and see if you were in a wheelchair, if you thought you could navigate that turn.
I will do that.
I also, I mean, I believe that ADA is supposed to allow people to maneuver themselves through space and time without needing assistance on a regular basis. So having to buzz into the library to have staff come out and address their entry into the building is not really the spirit of the ADA guidelines. I mean, that's my feeling about it is, you know. Like, is that, it's like we should be getting the building to be as user friendly and accessible as possible.
I agree.
Not, yes, and I'm not disputing the fact that at the time that was the code as it was written. But if we want the building to be as usable as possible, we should be addressing these things as it becomes, it was, somebody really did come close to going down the stairs, so.
Maybe there could be some sort of grant for at least an automatic door and it would be, as you're looking at the double doors, it would be just the door on the right.
Right.
So that the automatic door doesn't push the person to go down the ramp with the steps, but the one door, and there might be some sort of grant. I know Alexis has talked about some grants too, so.
We can look into the grant, but the town would need to apply for the grant, I believe. So,
Yeah, I don't believe we can both.
Right, so if it would be helpful.
yeah, we
to
can find the
it.
grant. We can see if we can find the grant. Thank you.
There was a question regarding the bathroom as well. The bathroom does meet all the requirements as far as the ADA.
Good. I didn't go in.
Although I did note in the hallway, there are several boxes on the floor that limit the ability of someone making their way and accessing the doorway if they were in a wheelchair. So that should definitely.
Those are the friends boxes and we can have them moved.
Yeah, because that impedes that access point as well.
Thank you.
Those were the major code items that pertain to the comment.
Was that all you had, Rick?
That was it.
Did everybody get the dog control report?
We had a hand raised in the back there, Mike. must be-
Go ahead, Michael.
Couple of things when you spot them.
Okay. New business or old business?
Just department business.
All right, we'll get you, let me just finish up this and then you can go, all right? Did everybody receive the animal control?
It was early. He sends it very early.
Oh. Okay. You have it?
I think I have it. I did have it, yes.
We received our final inspection on our kennel from Ag Market, so we're good as far as that.
The kennel is nice.
It is. We could Airbnb it.
Warren's writing a law about it, so you're to be careful, you don't violate your new town law.
It's pet friendly.
Police department,
You have my written, however, the sergeant has something to add.
Good evening, everybody. So front, you should have a piece of paper. It's, gentleman by the name of Aaron Van Troy. He's currently a police officer in the state of Vermont, actually deputy sheriff. I worked with him up in county also. We're respectfully requesting the addition of another police officer, him getting that police officer. We conducted a preliminary interview on Friday. Obviously, it went very well. He's been very well vetted. I've known Aaron for the last 15 years, worked for the last 10. He understands what it's small community police agency, what it's all about and what a town with kind of things needs. And we're going to move forward with higher code costs. The town, there'd be no budgetary changes. They basically probably moving for a replacement, let's put it that way. That's all I can say about it right now. But like I said, he's been very well vetted. He's got excellent IPC skills, very good effective communication.
Heck of a resume.
Yeah, he's a square away guy, and I wouldn't, but there's probably 2 people in the county ball that I put my name on.
Awesome.
can I get a motion for approval for hiring?
I make a motion to approve hiring Aaron and
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Thank you very much.
You guys have any questions for, John? In regards to his report?
no questions.
Michael, go ahead.
So just, in the department items, I have an update on ZRC, I guess an old business when you come around to that.
You can do it right now.
You want me to go?
Go ahead. That's fine.
Well, first of the department, computer wise, we're set. Like Tricia backs up we have a Google Drive account where we back up all our files. I'm a little concerned, I don't know what's going on with over with Ed, with that computer. And I'm just, I want to make sure that files are being backed up, and all those permits and all the things that are being issued. That, I don't know what happened with it. I know maybe Drew could enlighten us and, get with Ed and educate him on it, but we just have to make sure that it's not all just sitting on that computer and that hard drive dies and, we lose all that stuff. So I know there's paper copies, but it's more and more, it's just, scans and everything, so. I don't know if there's an IT person or, that we can, I could be put in contact with and we can talk to them. The other thing, I have is, I was thinking about going, asking permission from you guys to go to the Planning Federation Conference this year. It's, up in Saratoga. It's $240 for members, which we are as a board. I think some pretty relevant topics, including revitalizing downtowns, seeker pitfalls, wetland case law update, a couple of other interesting courses that are going to be going on. So it's in April. So I don't know how I apply for approval for that from you guys.
You asking for approval right now? Can I get a motion?
I make a motion.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
There you go, Mike.
That's how you do it. We just went to some training like that. It's wonderful stuff. You get the inside scoop, what's really going on.
Yeah, we've never gone, I guess they used to go in the past, to this, but we have not, I have not gone to one, and no one I know on the board has gone to one since I've been. Okay, and then as far as the ZRC, so as far as short-term rental law, I spoke with Dutchess County Planning, and they're gonna have somebody come tentatively scheduled for the 5th, where I'm just waiting to hear back from more ZRC members to make sure that date works for enough people. And once I get it confirmed, I'll invite you guys too. We'll have an open meeting here. They'll come and give us a presentation on the state of regulations and ideas and state of the situation. They're gonna have 2 people come, and they have a primer that they sent us, but I'll be getting out to you guys when I have a chance.
And will it be open to the public?
Yeah, it'll be an open meeting.
Okay, March 5th?
Well,
What day?
tentatively,
Tentatively.
but
Right.
confirm it. I just, I put it out. I've heard from 2 people so far, but I want to make sure most of the board.
And then when it's confirmed, we can put it on the website.
Yes, which we've been doing, although
Yeah.
the snowstorms keep canceling it.
Yeah.
So the next ZRC is coming up this Tuesday. It was rescheduled for this coming Tuesday, the 20th, I think, 20th at 5 o'clock here, open meeting, of course. I also spoke with Frank Fish, and he sent some sort of white paper, and he is preparing a proposal that, for when we get to the point when we want to start drafting legislation for the fixing the solar law and for the short-term rentals. If we get to that point, I told him to separate it out into 2 different things, and they'll be preparing that proposal. He also sent us, I said that right, he sent the white paper, this many-page document about, a primer on short-term rental regulation. And then getting to that the solar moratorium probably needs to be extended.
Yep.
And that's it on that stuff.
Excellent.
Thank you. Old business? You guys got anything?
41 Hoffman Road.
Oh, yeah.
I know that Eddie isn't here. He was gonna have some sort of visit. I don't know if anybody knows any updates.
I have
No.
not.
Or if it is in fact on the market. So, I have a lot of people asking me about that, both the cleanup and what's gonna happen to that property.
May I speak to that? Sure. Well, I know for a fact it is on the market and it's ready to close any day.
Are you kidding me?
Nope. And as soon as it does go to closing, the owners will start working on it. To clean it up.
And so, okay, how did anyone know that it was on the market and who bought it? Do we know that?
I'd rather not say until it goes to closing.
Okay.
But I have it under very, very good
Mhm.
knowledge. And they're
Interesting.
waiting for a closing date, any day. So it's-
Can't imagine that somebody would buy it and just leave it like it is now. There would be no point to that. But-
Right.
Yeah,
It's an
Okay,
eyesore.
okay.
it is. Yeah. And it's dangerous.
Okay, so we never knew, I don't think anyone ever knew that it was on the market.
I'm not so sure it was like openly on the market,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a signed contract waiting to go to closing.
Awesome.
Yeah. And the only encumbrance, that has a good title, the only encumbrance is that it does have, the town is well aware of the mess, and I should think when the new owners buy it, they are going to be extended some sort of courtesy of timing.
Mm-hmm.
You're certainly not going to turn around and say 30 days, clean it up.
We'll give them a couple
Right.
days.
Yeah,
Right, I mean, it's been 3 years.
it's
Yeah,
been 3
Yeah.
years,
Yeah.
and they'll do it as quickly and thoroughly as possible.
Any progress in the right direction would be,
It will all be in the right
Yeah.
direction, it will improve the neighborhood significantly, and you'll all be very pleased.
awesome.
Great.
That's great.
I have a letter from the garden club in regards to the watering of the flower barrels. For many years, the Pine Plains Garden Club has helped to beautify our town by maintaining the flower barrels each summer. Garden Club members have done all the work and everything for quite a long time. They are no longer able to water these barrels, and only a few of the merchants in the town have stepped up. So they're looking to what the town would like to do with this before they order their flowers in April.
Interesting. Would that be a job we could create for some young folks that want to work during the summer?
Yeah, whatever. I mean,
Could it be something the high schoolers?
Yeah, like the honor society,
Yeah.
can we offer it to any of the high schoolers, like on the honor society of, rather than.
it'll be offered to anybody.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
it's
not bad.
not-
Yeah, the only challenge there is that it's mainly during the summer when
Yep.
school isn't in session. You have an idea?
There's a National Iron Society meeting tomorrow. I can bring it up then.
That would be awesome. Yeah. Yep,
Maybe
go-
it could also be used towards like, since I'm a senior, like if kids need community service and then sort of. what-
Yep, that kind of.
Yeah.
And
These are
how do
great
you
stuff.
think the kids would respond to doing it during the summer as opposed to the school year?
If they could
Still
get community credit.
I'm asking the students though.
I feel like there's at least some kids that would be willing to stay and keep doing it over the summer.
Thank you. What is your name?
Robert, like,
Thank you, Robert.
Great.
Okay, so we'll wait to hear back from them in regards to that. All right, anybody got any other old business? All right, new business. Two things, we received a letter from 17 owners of 17 Smith Street in regards to a trip hazard sidewalk.
Oh, yeah.
We spoke to Carl. Did you guys get out there yet?
We went out and looked. It's difficult to see what they're deeming a trip hazard. The greatest lip I see is less than a half an inch. So I sent an email to the owner and asked him if he could set up a meeting with his insurance representative. So we can go over there and connect and get an idea of what they're deeming a trip hazard.
There's a tree right by the sidewalk that's kind of lifted up the sidewalk.
That's not on his property.
That's not the one he was
That's not
talking
the one
about.
he's talking about.
No.
That one is
Correct.
pretty bad.
It's not his property.
Huh.
That's.
Well, then if I'm correct, if I have the right property, then it's the one by his garage. Where he
And it's less than half an inch.
Yeah, and that one is very small, perhaps the minimus amount.
I always deem sidewalk trip hazards as if you can't ride your skateboard over it, it's a trip hazard. You can ride a skateboard over it.
Do you carry a skateboard?
I was gonna.
If I have one,
It's the skateboard test.
I guarantee you, if I get on a skateboard, I'm gonna fall on any sidewalk.
Carl, so you made contact with them, you're gonna meet with the insurance company?
I'm
Okay.
hoping to hear back from them soon.
Alright. Very good. Next up, I need your approval for the journal entries for 2023 that was sent by Portia. That I gave you Monday night.
Yeah.
Can I get a motion on that?
Want to make a
Question?
motion?
All motion.
I'll
to accept
second
that.
it.
Can I get a second?
I second.
All in favor? Aye.
The skeletal crew here.
Okay, now I need approval for the rec director's position.
Oh, I'll make a motion for that. Oh, don't we have to
Yep,
say who it is first?
Yes.
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Oh, so interviews were held and we would like to offer the rec director position to Brian Coons.
Can I get a motion to
Make a
accept?
motion.
And I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
He will accept. All right, I need a motion to move into an executive session.
I make a motion to move to executive session.
We making any
To
decisions?
Discuss
We may-
litigation.
Just hold it on, just in case.
All right,
You don't mind. We invite,
All in favor?
yes, the
our engineer and the chairman of the planning
Assessor.
board.
Where are we?
we discussed
We'd already
it,
discussed
we
it.
discussed it.
Oh, it was that.
Yes.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yep,
Who are we inviting?
the assessor and the engineer.
So our assessor here.
Yes, she's back there.
Yep, I swear I would.
Can I get a motion to come out of executive session?
I make a motion to come out of executive session.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
All in favor?